YouTube used to do this thing called YouTube Rewind, where they would take a look back at the previous year on YouTube. But eventually, YouTube had to admit that the internet is such a toxic cesspool that, number one, there's no good reason to go back and look at anything that happened. And secondly, there's no way to make a video like this that would actually please anybody. All they did was pander to the lowest common denominator and try to make themselves look like the good guy. Well, I no longer feel the need to be the good guy, so I don't mind being the one that takes a quick look back at 2023 and the year that I'm calling the year of Mr. Beast. In 2023, Mr. Beast generated about 21.7 billion views, making him somewhere near $87 million just in ad revenue. And that doesn't include all of the money from sponsors, because keep in mind, every sponsor on the internet wants to suckle the teat of the beast for good reason. He's won the Streamy Awards in 2020, 21, 22, 23, the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards in 22 and 23. He's on the 100 most influential people by Times Magazine, and Forbes said he has an estimated worth of $500,000. And this is because he's doing something nobody else is doing. It is entirely possible at his level to just coast off of your bullshit content, reacting to Domino's videos and throwing up fast food, but Jimmy does it a different way. He takes a break from his bullshit content to occasionally make the world a slightly less miserable place. In 2023 alone, he built 100 wells in Africa. He helped 1,000 deaf people hear for the first time. He helped 1,000 blind people see for the first time. And he managed to turn a profit doing it. And as you can imagine, because this is the internet, this pisses people off like you can't imagine. The first pushback we see is people saying that this makes ableism possible and it makes disability seem like something that is bad and needs to be cured. Well, as a disabled person, allow me to say it sucks. If Mr. Beast wants to waste his money getting my knees replaced or getting my back fixed, I'm more than glad to let him, and I'll tell you why, because I'm sick of being a fucking victim. And the 1,000 people that he helped see, the 1,000 people that he helped hear, seem to be pretty happy with it. I don't see anybody crying because their identity and victimhood has been taken away. I've known a lot of disabled people, and there's not a single one of us who have said, if you can fix this, please don't. That's just going to annoy me. BuzzFeed had the audacity to say in an article that Mr. Beast seems to regard disability as something that needs to be solved. Oh gee, BuzzFeed, I wonder why that is. Is it because disability is something that needs to be solved? By definition, disability means there's something you have the inability to do, and chances are you'd probably like to be able to do it. Most blind people want to be able to see. Most deaf people want to be able to hear. Most mute people want to be able to talk. Most cripples want to be able to stand up and dance. I'm not saying there's not some asshole at BuzzFeed who prefers being blind or prefers being deaf, but most disabled people would rather be fully abled. And when it comes to getting people clean water in Africa, people are even mad about that. A group known as Face Africa, who's been building wells in Africa for the last 15 years, said overnight this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all of the attention. It's kind of frustrating. If you find it frustrating that Mr. Beast got the attention for building the wells, then you should have built the wells, assholes. If you've been doing this for 15 years and Mr. Beast is able to come and get it done within just a few months, then maybe you just need to admit you're not very good at it and don't deserve the attention. I don't know about you, but if I spent 15 years trying to build wells in Africa and then someone came along and dug 1,000 for me, I would say thank you and then shut the hell up. Instead of complaining about who gets the credit for digging 1,000 wells, why don't we celebrate the tens of thousands of children who now don't have to drink diseased water? If your goal is to help people, then you should say thank you when someone helps those people. Instead, you're complaining because you don't get the credit. It's pretty obvious what you're in it for. It seems like to me and everyone else that you're in it just because you want the credit for doing it and not to actually help people. And that makes you the scum of the earth. And sure, there's plenty of people online who project their own insecurities onto Mr. Beast, saying he's only doing it to build his name, to build his brand, to try to make money doing it. And you know what? With that kind of attitude, I bet you're real fun at parties, huh? But even if you are correct, Mr. Beast has figured out a way to help people, do it absolutely free for the people that he's helping, and make money doing it, and somehow you're upset about it? Come here for a second. I don't know who hurt you, but it's time to let it go. Mr. Beast is out here showing all of these billionaires in the world how it's done, how they can help people with their money and also keep their money at the same time. If your first response to that is to be bitter and jealous, then I have to ask you, how does their boots taste in your mouth, you boot-licking piece of crap? What you're really upset about is the fact that Mr. Beast is showing that the system is broken and can be fixed, and for some stupid reason, you don't want to benefit from that. It's time to decide if you want to live in a world with your jealous, petty insecurity and identity politics, or do you want to live in a world where people like Mr. Beast make it slightly less shitty for people like you and me? Sure, there's nothing wrong with being disabled, and you shouldn't be treated different for being disabled. There's only one thing wrong with being disabled, and that's the disability part. And if it can be fixed, it should be. And no, there's nothing shameful for being born in a place that doesn't have access to clean water. No one should make fun of you for that. But if someone can fix it, you need to let them. Heal the sick, share your wealth, treat everyone with love and kindness. I know somebody else who did that. But here we are in a world where a YouTuber chooses to be just a tiny little bit Christ-like, and there's so many Judases out there holding the nails and hammer ready to go. That's YouTube in 2023, and you hate to see it.